Hello everyone. The topic that we are going to discuss today are loan syndication, consortium banking and multiple banking. We are also going to do the difference between them. So let's start with loan syndication. First, let me tell you what is the meaning of syndication. Syndication means individuals coming together for fulfilling a common interest. So that is syndication. Individuals coming together forming a group to fulfill a common interest. So what would be loan syndication? Individuals coming together to provide loan, forming a group to provide loan. So loan syndication is when lenders come together to provide loan. When one lender is not able to provide loan on its own, then what that lender is going to do, it is going to form a pool of lenders and pool in the funds and provide loan to the borrower. So in loan syndication there is one borrower and multiple lenders. Okay, so let's take an example and understand this topic. Suppose there is a businesswoman, Miss A. She needs 600 crore rupees to expand her business. She goes to a bank, let's say PNB, and asks for 600 crore rupees. PNB does not have 600 crore rupees to offer to Miss A. It can offer only 200 crore rupees as loan to Miss A. So what if PNB does not provide 600 crore rupees to Miss A, there will be a loss of customer. First of all, there will be a loss of business to PNB, and second, there will be a bad relationship between Miss A and PNB. So to maintain that good customer relationship and not to lose the business, PNB asks for help from different other banks. So all of these banks join together like a syndicate to fulfill a common interest, that is providing loan. So all of these banks form a syndicate with the PNB and provide loan to Miss A. Suppose these banks are P, Q, R, S. Okay, so suppose P gives 100 crores, Q, this is Q. Q gives 100 crores, R gives 100 crores, and S gives 100 crores. Okay, so in total they have pooled in 600 crores and now they can provide the fund to Miss A. Okay, 600 crore as loan can be provided to Miss A. Okay, this is called loan syndication. When one lender cannot fulfill the loan request of the borrower, it pools in resources the funds from other banks and forms a syndicate of other banks and give the requested loan amount to the borrower. This is called loan syndication. Okay, here the bank, that is PNB, which is providing maximum loan, will be acting as a leader bank and will be communicating or as an intermediary between the borrower and the other banks who are involved in the syndicate. Okay, so what has happened is, now because PNB is able to give 600 crore rupees of loan to Miss A, so PNB has the business, the customer relationship is maintained, and the customer also becomes happy that she has got the loan as requested. Okay, so let's revise what is loan syndication. Loan syndication is the process of involving a group of lenders in funding various portions of a loan for a single borrower. Okay, loan syndication most often occurs when a borrower requires an amount too large, the amount of borrowing is too large for a single lender to provide. Multiple lenders form a syndicate to provide borrower with the requested capital. Generally, with the exception of collateral requirements, most terms are uniform among lenders. Most other terms like interest rate, documents, policies of loan, all of these are similar. I mean, these are uniform other than collateral requirements. That means each bank in the syndicate would require the collateral according to the loan that they have given. So the borrower has to make available different collaterals for different banks from within a syndicate. Okay, suppose there was PNB, PQRS. Okay, so these banks made a syndicate, and thus the borrower has to provide a collateral according to the borrowing from PNB. So a collateral worth of 200 or more to PNB, a collateral worth of 100 crore or more to PQRNS. Different collaterals has to be provided to each bank in the syndicate. Okay. So this is the process of loan syndication. Individuals or banks coming together and pooling in funds to fulfill the loan requirement of one single borrower. This happens when a single bank or a single individual cannot fulfill the requirement of the loan on its own. Okay, so let's move to the another concept now, consortium banking. What is consortium banking? First, let's understand the meaning of consortium. Consortium means association. Okay, so see, first let me tell you, consortium banking is in the lines of syndicate loaning. Okay, so loan syndication is the process out of which the phenomena of consortium banking has occurred. Okay, so there is a very thin line difference between consortium banking and loan syndication, because consortium banking as a phenomena has occurred from loan syndication. Okay, now what happens in consortium banking is that a consortium bank is formed. A consortium bank is formed. Okay, so now let's take the example again. The same example that we have previously discussed. Miss A, a businesswoman, wants to expand her business. Then she goes to PNB, asks for 600 crore rupees. This is PNB. Okay, PNB does not have 600 crore rupees to offer. It has only 200 crore rupees that it can offer to Miss A. So what PNB could do in consortium banking is it would make a consortium of various other banks. The other banks were P, Q, R and S. Okay, so PNB with these other banks will make a consortium bank. Okay, this PNB with all the other banks will make a consortium bank. This bank will be made by all the banks. Now this bank is going to provide 600 crore rupees to Miss A. That means they all have pooled in resources, made a consortium bank, and then this consortium bank will provide 600 crore rupees to Miss A. These have pooled in 100 crores each. Okay, and 200 crore from PNB. Now this is the slight difference between consortium bank and loan syndication. In loan syndication, no other bank is formed. In consortium banking, another entity called a consortium bank is formed to provide the loan required by the borrower. Consortium bank is not a physical existing bank. It is a legally existing bank. Okay, so they make a legal contract. PNB, PQRS bank will make a legal contract on what will be the policies of the consortium bank and what will be the responsibilities of each bank under the consortium bank. Okay, so that there are no disputes later on. Okay, so PNB and PQRS Bank will make a legal agreement of how the functioning of the consortium bank is going to happen and what will be the responsibility of each bank under the consortium banking. Okay, so now they have pooled in the resources in consortium bank, and then consortium bank gives 600 crore rupees to Miss A. Now what will happen is the consortium bank will charge same interest. That means only one interest will be charged by the all the banks, that is consortium bank. Suppose there is 10% interest, so 10% interest has to be given on 600 crore rupees. The documents requirement will be only once by the consortium bank, same document requirement will be there, and there will be same loaning process. Okay, there will be same loaning process. So now what will happen is all the banks in loan syndication, there was the bank to whom the borrower first reached out, or the bank which is providing the maximum loan, that becomes the leader bank, and that leader bank becomes an intermediary between the borrower and the other banks. But here all the banks will supervise the functioning of the consortium bank. Okay, so this is the consortium banking. So the loan has been given, the loan has been received. Okay, so consortium banking. Now I know, don't get confused between what is loan syndication and what is consortium banking. They both are similar. The only difference is here a different entity is formed, that is consortium bank. Other than that, in loan syndication also funds are pooled. In consortium banking also the funds are pooled to give to the borrower, which is too large a loan, okay, which cannot be fulfilled by a single bank. These are the same things. That means, listen, syndication, loan syndication is a process. Out of that, consortium banking as a concept has been taken out. Okay, so these both the concepts are same. What is the difference is, there is a very thin line difference between the two. Let's first just revise quickly what is consortium banking. Several banks, single borrower, a legal contract is made which delegates responsibility among the members of the consortium bank. Okay, this we have discussed. All banks acts as supervisors of the consortium bank. Okay, no leader is there. There is a joint documentation, because there is one bank, consortium bank, providing the loan of 600 crore to Miss A. So joint documentation, the supervision on that loan is also jointly done. Follow up on how the repayment would be done is also done jointly. Policies are also jointly made. Okay, so now let's do what is the requirement of consortium banking in India. So the minimum amount that has to be given in consortium banking is 10 crore. The minimum amount that can be loaned by one individual bank should be 5 crore at least, and there should be at least 2 members in consortium banking. There cannot be one member in consortium banking. Okay, consortium cannot be formed with one member, right? So this is the difference between the two. Both the process is the same, but there is a thin line difference. Under consortium, all the banks act as supervisors, that we have done. In consortium, all the banks acts as supervisors, whereas in loan syndication there is a lead bank or a syndicate agent who acts after all the issues. Okay, the intermediary between the borrower and the other syndicate banks. Consortium is within a country's boundary, whereas syndicate institutions under syndicate, institutions from different countries pool their resources to provide for required amount. So consortium mainly is for domestic lending. Okay, and loan syndication goes international. Okay, this is the difference. Consortium banking is a phenomena. Consortium banking as a phenomena is a part of loan syndication process, and that's why the process of both of them are same. Okay, this is the only difference, otherwise the process is same. Now let's do multiple banking. Okay, how multiple banking works. Okay, there are multiple banks involved in this also. That's why we are doing it with consortium and loan syndication, because there are multiple banks involved in consortium banking and loan syndication. So let's take the example that we have previously discussed again. So again, Miss A wants loan of 600 crore rupees to expand her business. What she does is she goes to different banks to get the loan. Okay, she goes to different banks to get the loan. Suppose she has gone to bank A, B. Okay, because her name is Miss A, let's take other letters. P, Q, R, S. Okay, so she goes to bank P and she takes a loan of rupees 200 crore. She goes to bank Q, takes a loan of 100 crore. R takes a loan of 100 crore, and S takes a loan of 200 crore. So this is 600 crores she has taken from different banks. Now these banks are not related or does not have any information on if Miss A has taken any other loan. So these banks are completely unrelated to each other. They do not have any information of other loans of Miss A. So what will happen in multiple banking is Miss A has to pay interest rate differently. Suppose bank P has 10% interest, bank Q has 11% interest, bank R has 9% interest, and bank S has 8% interest. So she has to pay different interest rate, plus the document submitted should be to all the banks. The document also has to be submitted, and maybe the loan procedure of all the banks may be different. So she has to follow different loan procedures from all the banks, because all these banks are not related at all. Okay, so this is called multiple banking. When Miss A requires a loan of 600 crore rupees, she cannot acquire this loan from a single bank. She goes to different banks and acquires loan from those banks. That is multiple banking. Okay, so all the banks give Miss A loan of 600 crore and she is happy. Okay. So multiple banking, let's revise. Multiple banking is an arrangement where a borrower takes loan amount from several banks. So several different banks the borrower takes loan from. In this case, no bank knows that the borrower has, no bank knows that his borrower has taken loan from other banks too. There is no contractual relationship between various banks like that in consortium banking, and each bank holds individual security and own credit rates. Like interest rate is different, okay, and collateral will be different, okay, and the loan procedure will be different. There are various loopholes in multiple banking arrangement, and also it can lead to fraud. So consortium banking is better for economy. There are various loopholes in multiple banking because banks has to do a CIBIL check. Bank has to do a background check if the person has taken loan from other banks also, and bank cannot really contact the other banks of how much loan they have given or whatever. There is a loophole, that is there is a lack of communication between different banks because loan has been taken from different banks. In consortium banking, all the banks, whatever loan they have to offer, they make a consortium bank and offer the loan directly, and that's why that is more beneficial, and less chances of bad debt is there, and less chances of fraud is there in consortium banking than in multiple banking. So That was the whole concept of loan syndication, consortium banking, and multiple banking. Multiple banking is different altogether from consortium banking and loan syndication, because the borrower is going to different banks and taking different amount of loans from different banks, and no bank is related to each other. All the banks are unrelated. The concept and the process of loan syndication and consortium banking is on the similar lines, but there is a thin line difference, and that difference also we have discussed. Okay, I hope you've understood this concept. Thank you.